and that's going to be the format for this page. So that's kind of a neat thing to be able to see that on the web developer tool. And then we'll close out of the web developer tool for now and go back to what we're doing. Alright, so this pretty much wraps up this that chapter. Then we go to our borders, and to make border around an element, all you need is a border style. The values can be solid, dotted, dash, double, groove, ridge, and inset and outset. Border width sets the width, and most commonly used pixels as a value. There are also properties for border top width, border right width, border bottom width, and border left width. Finally, border color sets the color. Add the following code to your CSS file. Okay, so if I sit here and look at this, and let's see if I did that. There's D. Nope, I sure didn't. So what we do is we copy that, just like that, and then we can go right there on our notepad where our style C sheet, and paste it. And there you go, and then we will save it, and that's under our H2. Now if we refresh this, and there's our borders there. So now when we get to play around with this, we'll change these back to what they were. That was 1.5. The color, we'll just leave the color there. 10 pixels. The margin was actually 20 on that one. And this was 40. Very large. And then border style is dashed. Let's say we wanted a different, instead of this dashed line, we wanted a solid line. So let's change that to solid. And then the border width, let's say that's a little too large or too small, whichever. Let's go to 6. And then border left width, let's reduce that, let's say down to 3. And then the border right width, we can just change, let's say just 9, so the left will be smaller than the right. And border color, let's say we don't like that color and we want to go with teal. File, save, and then we refresh it, and there you go. It changes the borders of the whole document, and it's very useful, and we can change that back to FFF, save, and it changes that to white, and that's how that's the background color. So we can manipulate all this information fairly quickly with the CSS sheet offline and away, and then when we need to move up, and we can even test it. As you can see, we can test it without the use of the internet. Next is putting it all together. You should have a basic HTML file when you're through with all this, and CSS link to it. The code below covers all this basic stuff. So when we go to, I believe it's style note D. I believe that's it. We have body, font family 14px, and I already changed the color. Okay, so this is our style notepad. So when I open up my HTML, hdog.html, and I just want to use my style sheet, just style.css, not any of the others. I save it, and then I open it up or refresh it, and there's what it looks like. That's the information that he wants to show us, or she, on the HTML dogs. Now we can change all this stuff over if we want to. We have the heading, the body, simple page put together, and that's what it looks like. And here's the colors here. It was 900 background color. We can change the background color. Let's say 800. And we'll save that. And refresh. And that changes the background color to maroon. So we can, that's up for your heading 1. Let's say I want to change the background color of this. Let's say I wanted, instead of FFC, I wanted FF, if there is a Z, don't know, we'll say, save, and refresh, and it changes it a little lighter color. So as you can see, just by playing around with the colors, we can have a different look. Let's say on our heading 2 color, we wanted that FFC color there. So let's say pound FFC, file, save, and then refresh it, and there you go. It's a different color. That's for your heading 2, background color silver. Let's say I want it the same as my background color up here, so I'm going to put that as pound 800. And there you go. It just, you're able to do a lot of things on this, and we can even, I changed this earlier and I moved it way over to the right. That's 100 px there for this space and that space. They have it like at 20 px, I believe. We'll save that and refresh it, and the words move right on over. So we can manipulate this form fairly quickly just simply by having a CSS sheet. Here's the other one. Let's say I wanted my other headings, these headings here, heading 3s. Let's say I wanted them a different color. Let's try a pound 700. I'm just guessing at these, and because I know the value, I mean, I'd look it up normally, but we have to save it and then refresh it, and there you go. And it looks more like a brown, so that's a 700. And we can change the font size, and I believe this was 1.50 on that. Change that to a 1.50, and these should become larger. Save, and then refresh. There you go. And that's what that all looks like. Now on this border style, we have an image here. Let's say we want a dashed line instead of the solid line. Dashed. Save it, and then refresh, and it gives me a dashed line around my image. And I can border width, let's say that's too big, and 2, file, save, and border width should go smaller, and it does. And the border color, and we can change that, and we have a lot of practice with that. So text, there's no text decoration, and the strong font is italic and uppercase. We can do lowercase or whichever, we'll just leave it there. And the line colors, the lines down here, that's a different color. Let's say red so we can see where they're at. And we'll file save it and refresh it. And where is those reds? He doesn't have any lines in here that are red. No, there they are. So that changes that color. In font style normal. Table background color. Let's say I didn't like that color and I wanted that one red. We'll do the save and refresh it, and that should have changed the table's background color to red, and it did. It was gray before. And that's pretty much it for this chapter. So we can do a lot of things and use that web developer tool to our advantage. You don't have to be that scared of it. It's not going to change anything on any website. We can do our inspection, and we can change our style sheet, edit as HTML, and we can actually, let's say I wanted to look at C again, and there it is there. Our C, style sheet C. Let's say I wanted to look at my other style sheet. This won't save it, it won't change it or anything, it just looks at it. That's all it does. And we'll change it right here, right there, in between the two quotations after href, because this is a link relative to style sheet. And then it's reference to style sheet or whichever. Let's say I want to look at style sheet A. And we'll close that. And we're back at A at the beginning of our tutorial. So simply by making different style sheets and putting them in the same directory, we can use them like baseball cards or trading cards, and we can see what the number one, the lessons that we're learning, what they all are, and two, we can work on these offline, and when we get ready to use them, we don't have to sit there and be on the internet or in our web host to do it. So hopefully all this information helps us out. And then the next thing is HTML intermediate tutorial. So hopefully you guys are hyped for that. I am. And hopefully you have a great day. Thanks for watching.